Now, Coach Otuado has released a list of 23 players who will move to camp early next week to begin preparations ahead of the double header of World Cup qualifiers between the Black Stars of Ghana and their counterparts from Madagascar. Now, for the squad, there are three goalkeepers, and then there are three home-based players. So for the goalkeepers, we have Lawrence Atizigi, who is coming from St. Gallen in Switzerland. Joseph Wallacott keeps for Crowley Town. Benjamin Asare is with Accra Hearts of Oak. And then for the defenders, Gideon Mensah plays for AJ Auxerre in France. Coming from Red Star Belgrade, Ebenezer Annan. Mohamed Salisu is with AS Monaco in the French Le Championnat. Jerome Opoku plays for Istanbul Başakşehir. Alexander Diku of Fenerbahce. Jonas Ajete plays for FC Basel in Switzerland. Razak Simpson plays in the home league here with Nations Football Club. Kingsley Schindler is with Trabzonspor. Kamaradini Mamudu plays for Mediama Sporting Club. And now we move to the midfielders. Thomas Partey is with Arsenal. Elisha Owusu of AJ Auxerre. Cercle Bruges Abu Francis. Mohamed Kudus plays for West Ham. And then Ernest Nuyama coming from Olympic Club de Lyonnais. And for the forwards, Antoine Semenyo, AFC Bournemouth. Kamaldeen Suleiman at Southampton. Jordan Ayew, Leicester City. Jerry Efriye, CD Lugo. Inaki Williams, Athletic Club de Bilbao. Christopher Bonsu, Ba Genk. Coach Ebenezer Sifa, your take on the Black Star squad.
Oh, Michael, I think there's only two changes, only two newcomers in the Blasters. You talk of Benjamin Asare of Asofok and then Christopher Bambonsu of Genk. I mean, he used to play for Shooting Stars, the second division side, Ashimota. And I believe it's the same squad that we've been seeing, same faces that we've been seeing. So it tells you that Otuado wants consistency in his team. And ever since we finished the qualification to the AFCON that we couldn't, our players in Europe has seriously improved. Talk of Antoine Semenyo, Inaki Williams, Ernest Nyama yesterday even had a brace. And of course, we talk of Juku also played yesterday, though they couldn't qualify. Partey, we've seen Partey. For me, I think that he also went to Europe to talk to some of the players to motivate them. The FA president was there, Stephen Appiah was there. So I think that he knows why he has called the same players because of consistency and probably their improvement in their various clubs. But you ask yourself when they come to the Blasters, is that the same form that they give us? Is that the same results that they give us with their clubs and they come to the Blasters? So all comes back to Otuado. So this time probably he's going to have a system and tactics right. He's going to have a selection right based on probably the scouting report and the video that we watch on our opponent. So for me, I'll just have to say that we need to support Otuado. Since I started charging Otuado from Monday, that he needs to be tactically good. He needs to prepare himself physically, mentally, and make sure that he gives Ghana the good selection. Make sure that he gives Ghana the points. It's time we charge the players too. I mean, you cannot always call on Otuado. At a point, you had a penalty and the player went there, he missed the penalty. There were chances that you ask yourself that, Michael, when you give him the opportunity, you can score. Players of this standard, we are missing those chances. So it's time we also have to charge these players. It is a difficult one, but I believe that, look, with these two games, they have no excuse. These 23 players have no excuse because they've been in and out, in and out, in and out. So the consistency is there. Fortunately for Ghana, they are improved in their various clubs. If you're watching them every weekend, and for me, it's just unfortunate that some few ones that I felt that they should be in are injured. But all the same, we have to go with what Otuado has named. There's no time for us to be mentioning this player should have been in or this one should not have been in. We need to give them our support. And I'm sure that the campaign starts on Monday. The first training session is going to be 5 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium on Monday. And the game is next week. So I believe that Otuado knows what, and his technical team knows why they've invited the same players. We are telling the players that out of about 15 10, 20 million players all over with Ghanaian origin. They are the only ones that Otoado has invited to come and wear the jersey. They have to represent the nation. They cannot let us down. Otoado was given the first opportunity. That was the AFCON. He couldn't win even a match. Fortunately for him, he's on top with Comoros, but just the difference of goals. But this is an opportunity whereby he cannot afford to miss. We need these 6 points against Chad and Madagascar. That game is coming on in Morocco. Fortunately for us, it is a neutral ground. And the weather is good for our players because it is also cold in Morocco. So, Michael, I believe that the tax is not only Otoado, but the players also need to live up to expectation. I believe the sports ministry, the FA, everybody is doing its part. It's up to the players to convince us, to prove to us why the coach has kept on calling them, though they failed us in the African qualifier. This is the time we need to support them. And I believe that with every Ghanaian support, these players should be able to get us there. So for me, I'm okay with the squad because the few ones that I feel that they should be in are injured. And I can mention names if you allow me to. Yes, you talk of Ali Dusedu is injured, Tariq Lamte is injured, Brando Asante is injured, Abdul Mumun is injured, Joseph Edu, Abdul Manaf, Fatah Ishaku, Baba Idrisu, Ibrahim Suleimana, Kofi Chire, Majid Ashimeru, Joseph Pento. These are players that Otoado has also invited them since he took over as the Black Stars coach. The only new faces that we are seeing is Christopher Bonsu from Genk, and of course we talk of House of Folk, Benjamin Asare. So it tells you that he's going with the same players that he started with the qualifiers in the African campaign, and he's still maintaining them. So it tells you that he has confidence in the players, he believes in the players, so the players have to live up to expectation. I was so amazed to see Inaki Williams doing so well with his club. But when it comes to the Black Star, there are a lot of question marks. Antoine Semenyo, big top clubs are looking for his signature. What is wrong with him when it comes to the Black Star? I ask myself, Kudus, he does certain things in West Ham that he goes according to the coach's instruction. Yes, sometimes he improvises, but in the Black Stars, is that what he gives us? So Otoado needs to put his foot down. If he really, really, really wants to go ahead and qualify his Ghana, he should make sure that discipline should be the core key for the Blasters. Of course, fortunately for him, he has Stephen Appiah, who is a vice president of the management committee, who took us to the World Cup for the first time. I'm sure after their meeting last week, he has had one-on-one with Stephen Appiah. Of course, his colleagues that he played alongside with, the Tony Baffos are also there. Tony Baffo and the colleagues are always available for Otoado. So he has no excuse. We, the media, we that sits and then analyze the game, I'm sure he listens. Yes, we cannot be the best, but sometimes what we say, if he takes the good ones out of it, is really going to help him and the nation. We cannot afford to miss this. I've started charging Otoado, and I'll continue to charge these players. Since I've gotten the list of players invited, I'll always be on their toes. Michael, Ghana cannot afford to lose or not to qualify. These 2 games, 6 points, will put us at a place whereby every Ghanaian will be comfortable because our next games are going to be somewhere in September. So for me, I'm happy. He has scored the same players that he believes in them. Consistency is what he's looking at. And of course, their form in their various clubs. So congratulations to the players that have been invited, but that is not the end. They need to come and prove to Ghanaians why the coach invited them.
Yeah, Michael, I think that these are the same players we know, with the exception of about 2, 3 new faces. I mean, we've been recycling. My issue is not about the players. My issue is to get the best out of the players. Like Coach just said, these players, they do well in their various clubs. We've seen Inaki Williams in the Europa League, what he's been doing. Virtually, he and his brother is carrying Bilbao. But the question is, No, why is it that when it comes to the Black Stars, we don't get the same kind of performance? That is why we should start asking. We've seen Antoine Semenyo. It's in the form of his life. He plays very well. Thomas Partey, today, Ateta believes that Arsenal's season, more or less, well, if they can perform, the Champions League relies on him. That's why in some of the matches, he tries to rotate and give him that respite. What it means is that he's a quality player who is coming. We know Jordan Ayew and what he can do. Alexander Jiku, yesterday, one pillar in that failed attempt to qualify. You know, they mounted a spirited performance, but they were not able to. I think they lost on penalties. I mean, these are players we have, with the exception of those who are injured. Individually, these players are quality players. So the question that best for answer is, why is it that when they come to our national team, they don't perform? It tells us that we need to do certain things differently. Now, we can't cry over spilled milk because Utuado is still our coach. I've already said that he lost the dressing room, but I'm expecting the management committee to help him build that cohesion in the room and let these boys feel that they need to give their all for the nation because Ghanaians are looking up to them. I believe that Ghanaians are looking up to the boys and not the coaches or the technical team. Because at certain instances, you believe you put your own destiny in your hands. I mean, these boys, even indeed, they have that zeal. They have that determination that they want to qualify Ghana and be at the world stage. We can qualify. And that is what we demand from them. I'm hoping that they will put everything behind them. We have 2 matches. We play Madagascar, we play Chad. These are all matches that, I mean, in any case, Ghana national team should be able to win. Indeed, if you give Chad to my house of folk, we should be able to beat them. That's for me. So if Ghana can't beat Chad, I don't know which country we can beat again. But of course, Madagascar has also been a thorn in our flesh in recent games. There are 2 countries who are worrying us as far as the minnows in African footballs are concerned. Madagascar and Comoros. And if you check the World Cup qualifier, at first when the draw came, we were thinking about Mali. But, I mean, the strongest challenger as far as who can dent our qualification is not Mali. For me, it's Comoros. Because we are joint, we have the same point on top of the log. All right? 9 points apiece. What it means is that, indeed, if they are also to win their matches, all right, they will also take on Mali. If they are to beat Mali and get a 3 points, and we have already beaten Mali already, and they are picking their points, it means that the 2 games between our team and them will determine who will pick the only slot from our group. So it's not a child's play. Madagascar can worry us. We should have it at the back of our mind. For Chad, I don't want to talk about them because I think for them, if they worry us, then it means we have no business playing the other matches. But I believe the biggest challenge for us is Madagascar, Comoros, and Mali. Mali can as well come here and beat us.
Forget Central African Republic is going to be a toughest game in their country. Because we struggled before we beat them in Kumasi. Central African Republic. They are very
of course, but like we were able to beat them. All right? Comoros can as well beat them. You see, let's look at Comoros and what they've done in recent times as far as African football is concerned. You understand? We are in a downward trend. They are in the upward trajectory. So we are not the same. They have the confidence. And if you look at their players, they have unsung names. We are boast of Kudus, we can boast of the names. They don't have names. Thomas Partey, Semenyo, they don't have names. Normally when you're playing against such teams or you are in competition with such teams, they are dark horses. Because Indeed, they've not played in the World Cup before. The country has never qualified for the World Cup before. So they are more motivated to go to the World Cup than us. Like what happened to us when we were qualifying for our first World Cup? The motivation and the zeal, because indeed, I think the best thing for them, like we played in the African Cup competition, African Cup qualifiers, where Sudan, in playing in that competition, has missed out of the African Cup for how many years? For more than 50 years. So they were more determined than us because we thought it to be our birthright. You understand? Because we almost all the African Cup of Nations, we qualify. But they have been out of African competitions for almost 15 years. So they were more determined, coupled with the unrest and, things happening in their country. And they beat us to that. And that is why I'm also sending this caution, that we should have it at the back of our mind, that Comoros will be more determined to qualify for the World Cup, even Mali, than Ghana, because we have been to the World Cup 4 times. All right?
3 times.
3 times. 3 times. Okay. No, is it 3 or 4?
3.
4 times. We're in 2006, 2010, 2014, 2022.
2022, yes. We've been
4
there
times.
4 times.
They have not been there. So they also want to be there. You understand? And that should be, it should send some sort of caution to us. That if we don't do our things well, it's not about the names, those who came or those who did not come. I believe that these players should be able to beat Madagascar and Chad. If we beat them, then we have no business playing other matches. That's my opinion.
Okay. You're still live on Metro Sports with me, Michael Kofi Odro. Dr. Kukubani would also want to add a little.
Normally they say in this fraternity that you win, it's a draw, or you lose.
Yeah.
All right, and I don't think that any team goes into a competition to have a draw or to lose. No. I think the ambition is to win. Yeah. But, and assuming you have the same competence, competing for a win, what will one do better to win? All right, which the coaches tried to put together. Even on the day of play, a lot of factors affect competence on the day of play. Okay. You see, when you go to a good stadium, you see the euphoria there. Sometimes, depending on the state of the player, can actually affect them or not. Though they are mentally strong, they've trained, they have all their physical training, but still, even just the euphoria can affect them or not. Words also play such a strong psychological effect on players. But I will take this opportunity, and if the players are really listening, I think one thing you should bear in mind is that you were called because we believe in you. Yeah. You were called because we believe that you could take us to the next step. Yeah. That could turn to a dark pride if you don't know how to handle these things. Then also past glories could deceive you as a player. Oh, I play in this team abroad. I'm doing well. I've received this. They say I do this. They say I do that. So you might come into the field of play with some kind of, some kind of mindset. All right? All those who spoke said, look, if this team beats you, then it's like you don't really know what you're doing. But look at these psychological things and put it together as a player and go and perform very well. And I think that you will be able to raise the banner of success. If you are given a role to play, commitment, simply I define it as I play my role, and when I see that there is a gap to support another role, I commit to go and support that role. Okay. And so let the teamwork be our strong focus to do this. And let us put, I like what the gentleman said, whatever has been spilled, let it go. Let's come with one mind, one accord, one determination, one commitment, and let's go as a new Black Star, folks, to win this great competition. And I believe that we have the capacity, we have the competence, we have the skill. We name them. Name all the list that is required for a win. We have them. And so if we can put ourselves together, play as a team, be resilient, all right? I always say to people that champions change challenges. And it doesn't matter the challenge that comes on the field of play. You stand and you face it, bullhorn. And I'm sure we'll be able to get the success that we are looking for. But with the players, I have no iota of doubt that they can do the job and do it well.
Okay.
Michael, I also want to add this. One thing that I didn't mention is the local content in the squad. The local players who have been called up.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 local-based players.
Yeah.
Razak Simpson has been in and out, and he's back again.
No, yeah.
He has been out. Okay.
He's not been out.
Okay. He only joined the
the last
local
call-up.
black squad.
Angola and then I think.
Okay, so he's in.
Niger, yeah.
What it means, and of course he has had a stint. He's played before, so the coach knows him. The Midiama guy, I think it's the first time. Kamara. Yeah, he has also been, but he has not gotten the opportunity to play.
No, he played against Niger.
Niger, yeah. Okay, all right. So Asari, my biggest worry is our goalkeeping, because you see we've not had confidence in Jojo Walacott and Atizigi. For me, I've not normally if Zige is in the goalpost, I find it difficult to sit because he's not composed. He's erratic and he concedes. I don't know whether they'll give Asari an opportunity. For me, he has experience, and I think with his age, it will help us because they say goalkeepers are like wine.
How old is he?
Oh, Asari is over 30 years. All right. So goalkeepers are like wine. As they age, they become, better. And he has proven it. He has proven that. So because, hitherto we didn't have problem with goalkeeping as a Black Stars, as a national team. But in recent times, that have been our bane. We've not had trusted goalkeepers. I think after the exit of Olele, and we've not had Kwarase came in and did a good job.
Kwarase and our current goalkeeper trainer Fatau
Dauda, and after the exit of all these goalkeepers, we've not had a dependable, a trusted pair of hands who save us. Of course, I mean in football matches, if you want to win games, you need good goalkeeper. Because there are instances that defenders will let you down, but the goalkeeper should be there to save you. But if indeed the defenders let you down and the goalkeeper is not able to save you, then where are you? You understand? So I think the technical team should look at it because we realize that it's the same crop of goalkeepers we are going with. All right? Atizigi, Walacott. And we are not having confidence in it. For me, if you even play Walacott, I prefer Walacott more than Atizigi. That's for me. Maybe the coaches or the technical team will also have their own opinion. You understand? But if we now have, they called Frederick Asari. They didn't give him that opportunity. They've called Benjamin Asari. I think that they should try one of them. Either, for now, Benjamin. And let's see his composure and what he also bring on board. So that, because in those days, we were relying on local-based goalkeepers for our Black Stars. And they were performing.
You see, I believe that it all comes back to the goalkeeper's trainer. You can suggest, you can mention names. Yes, as you said, for me, even today, Ghana do not have goalkeeping problem. It's a matter of choice from the handlers. We don't. It's a matter of choice from the handlers. When Fatah was with Gophers, he was in Black Stars.
Black Stars, yeah.
You see, and now you are the goalkeeper's trainer, but you are looking outside. So you ask yourself, what is really wrong with our goalkeepers in our league? Mensah of Heart of Lions, you talk of Emmanuel Kobe of Bibiani Gold Stars. These are goalkeepers when you watch them. Felix Che of Midiama. And I'm aware Otoado has asked of him some few days ago. You see, unfortunately, he got injured, and for some weeks he was not in goal post. That's what happened to Asari when Kamara took over from him when he got injured. now back in just last game. Of course, you don't expect the coach to call him. But I believe that Fatah Odada needs to convince us why he prefers the goalkeepers from outside than the goalkeepers that he himself has been seeing them week in and week out. And sometimes during off-season, they're training with them. So it's not a matter of we don't have goalkeepers. We have very good goalkeepers, but it's a matter of choice from our handlers. So if we are talking to Otoado, no, I believe that it's Fatah Odauda. He has to convince Otoado that, look, this is the goalkeeper Ghana can rely on. I was in goal first, home base team, and I became the goalkeeper before I went to South Africa to Orlando Pirates. So I believe that if you are given that opportunity, all the lady that you are talking about, he was with Accra Great Olympics.
Yeah.
He started with the national team with Olympics before he.
But before he even came and took that position, it was Samia J.
That's what I'm saying.
Was with House of Hope.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, I believe that it's about giving the players the confidence. If you don't give the player the confidence to play, how do you expect the person to play?
Ali, we saw
Today,
Jerry.
Dr. Kwabanako was making an example at Original FM. Mark, I think you were there. We talk about experience. If you don't give the person that opportunity, how do the person gain experience? Benjamin Asare was the goalkeeper for the Chan team just recently that we played the Nigerian home and away. Yes, in terms of conceding, they will concede. Do you understand? But you ask yourself, what sort of defense that he was in front of him? What happened? What type of goal? How was he? What was his composure? Yes, in House of Folk, he's been fantastic. But sometimes you also have to look at the national team and the club side. There are two different areas that we are talking about.
But if you don't give the person opportunity.
And I'm saying that there are two different areas.
I know.
Sometimes when player goes into the national team, the kind of comfort that he feels in his clubs, he doesn't have it. Do you understand? Wait me senior. Oh, senior. So sometimes the players
to even
themselves
control the back.
good. Sometimes the players themselves also need to come out. Do you understand? They need to prove themselves. So for me, I'll always call on the goalkeepers trainers. Look, convince me.
But coach, if like I say, if the goalkeeper's trainer can get a home-based goalkeeper and impose, get that confidence in him.
That's what I was saying.
My friend, these are you. If you are at the back, you control the back. So don't say this is Jiku or this is that. Control them. Let them know that you are in charge. Because at the end of the day, if they make mistake, you will suffer.
Michael, since Otoado came this very season, since he returned from Europe after going to meet the players, he has been to Legon to watch Asofok about 2 or 3 occasions. He has watched them. He knows Asare. When the local blasters were in camp, I'm talking about the chanting were in Pram Pram. He went to visit Didi Dramani. He knows them. So I'm saying that the decision has to come from them.
No, the decision has to go with giving the person confidence.
That's what I'm saying. You and I believe in the home-based goalkeepers, but they are in charge. For instance, I'm saying that, look, there are other players who are playing outside the 5 top leagues in Europe. But Otoado decided to look at the 5 top leagues in Europe to pick the players. There are other players out there. When you go to Serbia, when John Pencil was playing for the Blasters, was he not playing in Israel?
Yeah.
Harrison Affo was playing in Tunisia. Solomon Asante was playing in TP Mazembe in Congo. So if you decided to pick within the 5 top leagues in Europe, it's up to you. But try and win the game and convince me why you chose those players and left those ones. But if you continue to call these same players and you cannot make the impact or to qualify, then of course you have a problem.
I think, coming from the perspective you are trying to deal with, if a local goalkeeper is instructed to control senior defenders, let's put skills and everything aside because that's an issue on its own. At what point, with what limit, and with kind of what tone, do you understand? You look at our culture and everything. It's even difficult to talk to an elderly person. How much more you're senior? I'm just going out of the box.
No, senior in terms of where they are playing, but not senior in terms of age.
Exactly. So, but that psychological effect is there.
No, you're right.
So the local goalkeeper is there. And then I have a senior defender. Will I easily be able to instruct? I just want you to educate me.
No, it's Doc.
Let me come here.
Let me finish.
Let me come here. I want to help Doc.
No, let me finish.
Let me help you.
Let me finish.
Look, do you know what? It comes back to the coach. The coach stays here, watches our home games, fly to Europe, visit Jordan Ayew, visit Juku, but fails to visit the home base goalkeeper. Do you understand? So what signal are you sending to the players?
No, but if you go on that tangent, I will not agree with you.
The home
Because
base goalkeeper has not been part
of the
No,
Black Stars.
no, what I'm saying is that no, listen to me. He knew the players he wanted to invite. He went to visit them. He went to Europe. Though he didn't visit all the players, but those that he visited, they are in their squad. He knew he's going to invite this player. At a point, Yaya Mohammed was in Adriana. He was in the Black Stars. But the Black Stars coach left here, went to Europe to visit players. He never went to Tomato. No, wait. You see, sometimes...
But coach, I'm not sure that is the issue.
No, it's part of it.
But coach...
I'm not sure that's the issue.
The respect that he's talking about.
Coach Eben, hold on.
No, that's not the
These
issue.
players you mentioned, the Jordan Ayew, the Mohamed Kudus, Jiku, all the players you mentioned are players that have been integral members of the
Black
team.
Stars. They are nuclear.
Hold on, since Otuadu came. Now, Asari.
Even before he came.
As to whether Asari's call-up, as to whether he's even a backup, we can't tell. Because we all know that Abdul Manaf Nuruddin is an integral member of this team. And is injured. It could be that
because he's injured. That is why Asari is in the squad.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying that players that are integral part of the team are the players that I'm talking about in general context that I'm putting it. Do you understand? How many times or have you heard a Black Stars coach visiting a home base player?
Coach, I'm not sure that's the problem.
No,
for me, I'm not sure.
It's part of it. You see, when they go to camp, we are classifying them as local players, and not home-based players. We are playing the professional league here. Do you understand? We are classifying them as local players.
Who classifies
them?
As we sit here, but
that is it. That is it. I mean, nothing has changed.
But if you go to the Black Stars,
no.
I'm not sure
local players.
Yes, but
so
if you say home base and local, it's just semantics. It's just semantics. It's the same thing.
The moment the player gets to
Coach
the national team,
no. Coach Eben,
you
I was with the team in Angola.
You don't understand.
When Razak Simpson was giving his first call-up, and you couldn't even tell whether he was a local player or he was a foreign player, and that was even off the pitch.
Do you know why?
Why?
Do you know why? Razak has played for Gophers, Liberty Professionals, Wafa, and Wafa he has played with Majid Ashimeru, the likes of those boys. He has played with them.
So I think it has everything to do with the individual
coach,
player.
It's part of
it. You, the players, should go and not look down upon
it's,
yourself.
It's part of it.
See, coach,
it is factors.
Coach, let me tell you something.
You don't understand.
I remember when Abraham Grant was here. All right, I had a very good relationship with him. So I sat him down. I remember he called Abednego Tete and some players. At that time, Abednego was playing for Bichim United and some players to the Black Stars. And I went there and I was like, coach, what is it that when you call these boys, you don't give them an opportunity to play? Then he told me that the psychology of the boys playing in their team is different from the psychology when they come to the Black Stars. Because most times when they come, they are not. Please, let me finish. Hafiz Konkoni. Yeah, Hafiz Konkoni. Then I asked him, then he said, when they come to the Black Stars, mostly they can't express themselves. So you sharply, there is a line between the home-based player or the local-based player and the foreign-based players. And you ask yourself, if indeed you give the person opportunity, whether he can cope with the foreign-based players. That has been the problem because, indeed, when they come, because of our financial situation and where they are coming from and where these people are coming from, it makes it difficult for them to,
so that's,
go on the same level.
That's my question. So answer me, yes.
The goalkeeper one.
Yeah.
One of the good attributes of a good goalkeeper is to control your defense.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So if you're a goalkeeper and you can't control, regardless who is your defender, and you can't organize your defense, then you're not a good goalkeeper.
No, but
it's an attribute.
But you just said that you just gave a very, very good premise.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, go ahead.
I understand.
Yes.
So if, let's say, Asari,
yes,
which I know, like he's been called to the Black Stars,
yes,
and you are given opportunity, and you Asari knows that when, let's say, there's a free kick, or when, let's say, in any situation, you know how to use, as a goalkeeper, you should know how to organize your defense. And because you think Jiku is playing somewhere, you can't, then it means you don't merit to be there.
Okay, so second question. Assuming that's a genuine problem of the goalkeeper, and there is a coach, you know this goalkeeper is very capable. How will you deal for that goalkeeper?
That's why,
yes.
Doc, I said that the coaches they should repose that confidence in the players and tell them that, please, if there is any problem, I'll blame you, not the defenders. So try organize them. No matter who is there, tell the person what he should do.
Okay.
If the coaches tell the goalkeeper, if you're a coach, you tell your goalkeeper to do that. He is not looking at those there. He's looking at the coach.
Good. So the coach was alluding to that fact. However, I think the defenders in question as well must be addressed. You understand what I'm trying to say? So because an attitude could intimidate.
That is there.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't think it's only the new goalkeeper, but I think it's the responsibility of the whole entire defense as a team. You know, that, look, this is his job. You know what I mean? So when he raises his voice, it's not
you shouldn't be annoying.
Exactly.
Anyway, I agree with you. But this is the work of the technical team, like you said. But what they are supposed to do. So everything comes back to the technical team. Because you are choosing the player, and you want the player to do certain things specific for you. And you should let him, because it's like giving you a role as a coach. You put a player in a game, and you say, go and play this role for me. And indeed, if you see that the player is not going by the role you gave to the player, you can as well remove him.
We had Augustine Okra. He and a free man here were invited to the camp. And Okra went, said he's not playing again. Why? Because he felt that he's not a left back. But any time he comes to camp, they use him as a left back. There recently, that's under the former coach.
He's not a good. He's not a good player.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
He's not a good player.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
No, but a good player these days. You don't say I'm not.
No. He
left
didn't
back.
say it to the coach. I'm saying something that it was off air. It was off. His reason of not staying there. Do you understand? And for me, I believe that coaches engage players one-on-one. Some responsibilities. I'm picking Asari to be imposed. So I need to let Asari have I need to give him the confidence by telling him that, look, Juku, Salisu, they are like you. I've spoken to Salisu. I was with him. But I'm with you. So in this game, you are going to be imposed. The responsibility is you. So if the coach doesn't do that, but rather dance with the foreign ones, what happens? What happens? I am a coach. So if I want a player to do something on the foot for me, I can engage a player one-on-one. The reason I'm starting you today is A, B, C, D. And I'm giving you this responsibility no matter what it is.
So, Coach, what's the challenge? So, does it mean our coaches do not give the local players the necessary attention?
Yes.
Is it the opportunity?
Michael, I said yes. Yes, in the sense that I'm saying that you go to watch their games, and even after the game, do you even speak with them? You go to Legon to watch House of Folk game. After the game, do you approach player to speak to the player? You understand my point? You should let all the players to feel they are equal. As manager, you should let the players feel they are equal. So the moment they enter into you see, we have some of our players that have played in the same team, but getting an opportunity of going outside, he knows you already. So that kind of rapport is already there. So the moment he comes to meet you in camp, no problem. But there's a situation whereby most of these players are born out there. They have not even played in our local league before. Culture is one. Do you understand? Previously, when they come to camp and you visit them, they'll be mingling among themselves, they'll be teasing themselves. But today, a few times that I've seen them, they are always on their phone.
But even in your house, your children are always on their phone. That one.
No, you see, they will be on their phones. Sometimes they play together. Do you understand my point? It is factors. And I'm saying that if they should go that way, we are going to get the team like this, whether a home-based player or a professional or a distant player. You understand my point? So for me, I believe that if they're able to do that, if Asari is given the opportunity, he sees himself like even better than those colleagues that he has come from Europe. He can control Juku, he can control Salisu, he can even tell Jordan something. But you and I know the politics in our football. Something happened between a player, currently he has been invited, and one player who is injured. And the player felt that he's senior, and this boy disrespected him because he asked him to position himself well for him to be given a pass. And since then, the player has not been invited until today.
But you see, All these things.
These are things that maybe you may not have privy to,
No,
but some of us
coach,
have.
coach,
and I'm
coach.
saying that there are factors.
Coach, all these factors and all these things that you've enumerated boils down to the technical team.
And have I mentioned anybody?
That's it. So,
I'm talking about the coaches.
indeed, we all know.
I'm talking about the managers.
The thing is that we all know, and this is what I just.
Then if we know, then we should try to.
No, I
encourage
just
them.
don't want to revisit it because we know we don't have a good coach. That's a fact.
That is what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that
That is
no,
what I'm
but
saying.
see,
That's what
if you have a coach who is in control,
that's
this is
what I'm saying.
No, listen, coach. If you have a coach,
how many of our coaches have done?
no,
that?
listen. If you have a coach who is in control and who knows that I have to give tax and I needed to tell this person to go and do this, I mean, we will not come and sit here and talk about these things. Of course. Yesterday, what was that? Tuesday, we watched Arsenal versus PSG. Kieran Terry, which position was he playing? He was just because a player who is a left back was now a midfielder. This one because he's giving roles to go and play, not what I'm number 2, so I want to play number 2. No, that is why certain times you see Partey playing 2, but meanwhile he's a midfielder. He can play 8, he can play 10, he can play 6. Now football has changed. So if you're a coach was your sort and you want somebody to do something for you, you don't expect us to come and sit here and talk about it. You know what specific you need. You need a person to do. And that's what we are talking about. So, Doc, like you're saying, is the coach who is supposed to give that player that confidence and tell him that that's what I want from you. And this is when you go and you are in post. I want you to do this, and I'm looking at you. The player will get that confidence. We'll not look at whether this is Juku or Salisu or whatever.
That's what you are saying.
So I'm saying that it's a coach. Everything boils down to the coach. So we shouldn't.
I mentioned
Let's
the
move
coach
on
of the team. When I started, I mentioned the coach of the mic, right? I mentioned the coach of the team. I
So,
never mentioned anybody.
listen, I think you are far ahead in sports than me. All right. Are you saying that the issue is the coach?
Doc, I don't. That is not up for this. I'm sure.
No, I'm not going to let him talk about the coach. But I said that to say that if you confidently and categorically say we don't have a good coach, I think you are not being fair.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's your opinion.
Yeah, that's his.
That's your opinion. I also have my own.
Yes.